From Eldridge Park in Orleans, Massachusetts, it's time for baseball as the Firebirds host the YD Red Sox. Hello and welcome. Alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. And Will, we have ourselves an Eastern Division matchup with big-time playoff implications. Get used to saying that because the East is as tight as it can possibly be. The first team, Brewster, with 24 points. The last place team, Chatham, with 19 points. So the entire division separated by 5 total points. YD and Orleans only separated by 3, 22 to 19. YD in third, Orleans in fourth. And this game, no exception to the rule.
Yeah, the Eastern Division right now is completely wide open. 5 teams just separated by 2.5 games, Brad. So every day there's movement in the standings, but not only is it an important game for the table as we're past the halfway point, but I think it's important for YD to establish Adam Meyer on the mound and establish a good pitching performance. The last 2 outings from their starters haven't been pretty for YD in terms of giving your team some length. And you talked about it yesterday, Brad. We need some length today out of the arms, and that will especially be crucial with some well-rested middle relief guys who have had success against Orleans, like a Jared Godman, who could potentially come out to back up the right-hander Adam Meyer, but need a good start from him today.
Well, let's put Adam Meyer under the microscope here. This his third start of the season, his 4th appearance, and his last appearance on the road against Bourne. Came out of the bullpen. It was his day to start, but he came behind Nolan McCarthy, who only recorded 4 outs, and put him behind the 8 ball. But his last appearance came, again, against Bourne, and it was okay. 3 2/3, 7 walks, or rather 7 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. But Meyer has struggled to find his footing ever since he started as a Red Sox in that first start against Wareham on the road, where he was shelled for a couple of runs. He was bumped up a little bit via the homer, and we're just waiting to see vintage Adam Meyer from UBC.
Yeah, Adam Meyer, he's very talented, has a good slider, hard fastball, and he actually settled in his first start against Wareham, and he was able to retire the final 3 innings in a row. He settled in after he let up a home run to Owen Diodati. And speaking of home runs and Owen Diodati, Orleans has got a guy who can put the ball out of the ballpark, don't they?
Oh, they really do, and we'll get to that big hitter in a second, but now we go to Max Rajic, the starter for Orleans at 6'1", 205, the same frame as Adam Meyer, coming from UCLA, and he was a reliever this past year for the Bruins. Orleans trying to make him into a starter for UCLA, who really needs him to start. But Max Rajic in his 2nd appearance of the season against YD.
Yes, he's been a consistent starter in the rotation for Orleans, and the interesting thing about Rajic, you talk about one of the best relievers in the Pac-12, all Pac-12, all conference team, and then he comes to Orleans for the summer and working with Coach Nicholson, Kelly Nicholson, who does a good job working with pitchers, and they develop him, they stretch him out, and against YD, that was going to be last time out, he was supposed to give some length. Right, but he was riding a scoreless inning streak over his previous 3 starts. YD was able to chase him earlier than expected in this game. They're looking for him to get some length, going from throwing 1 or 2 innings in the back end of UCLA's bullpen now to be an opener. He is getting to that point where he's consistently throwing and getting used to being a starter, and he's been pretty good at home, hasn't allowed a run in 2 starts here at Eldridge Park as well.
Now you mentioned that he has some offensive firepower behind him today. Chase DeLauder leads the league, tied for the league lead in home runs with 6. And Orleans, since the archives begin this century in 2000, the CCBL Stats Archives, the Orleans Firebirds have never had a hitter lead the league in home runs. So DeLauder with a chance to make some history. He's making some history of his own. Has 6 home runs already. Nearly 10% of his at-bats in the CCBL are home runs, and fewer than half that rate, less than half that rate at James Madison, where he goes to play his college ball, is the rate at which he hits home runs. So DeLauder is a big deal. He's playing center field and hitting cleanup. But top to bottom, the order, Peyton Chatinier playing second base, Corey Acton DHing, Luke Keeschel playing left field, Trey Harmon playing first, right behind DeLauder in center field in the lineup. Tyler Locklear at third base, Julio Marcano in right, and Garrett Gillimet catching. David Marcano is the 9-hitter playing shortstop. Who really sticks out to you there besides DeLauder, of course, with his power?
Well, Peyton Chatinier with his power as well atop this order is somebody that can be pretty solid for this team, hitting above 300 on the year. And the middle infielder from Ole Miss, he didn't have a ton of power this past season, but he came out and started hitting home runs with the wood bat this summer early on into his performance for Orleans. So he's someone atop this order who really gets things started for the Firebirds. And, of course, you said other than Chase DeLauder, he's a guy everyone's talking about across the league. But Peyton Chatinier, the rising sophomore at Ole Miss, he's done pretty good so far this summer. Has hit 3 home runs, and he has 4 stolen bases to lead the team. And so he's somebody who can get things going. Had 2 hits last time he played against YD. So someone to watch out for atop the order for Orleans.
You're listening to the YD Red Sox pregame show, pre-gaming and planning our broadcast, just like you should plan your future through Curry College. Curry College is definitely the place to be to pursue your higher education. And breaking down the lineup for Orleans, now it's time to dissect the YD Red Sox starting 9. Will take us through.
Well, Wyatt Hoffman going to lead off and play second base, and then Tanner Smith going to follow and be the designated hitter. Peyton Graham after hitting third, and at shortstop, then it's Cody Huff, the catcher. After that, Crew Robinson in left field, making another start for YD. Hit a home run yesterday. Chase Luttrell thereafter in right. Drew Bowser going to be playing first base. Briley Knight hitting 8th and playing center field. And Zach Liu hitting 9th and rounding out the order at third base.
Well, there's a lot to dissect from that lineup here, and the key player to look out for, you would have to think, Peyton Graham trying to really break out of his slump, Will. The last time that Graham was hitting in Orleans, get this, Graham was hitting 375, but today, that was June 27th. Today, he's hitting just 240, really falling onto that schneid, trying to pick up where he left off from Orleans in that 3-hole.
Yeah, Peyton Graham, he definitely has slowed down. He had a really hot start to the season. And when you slow down, it's hard to get out of that slump sometimes because you know how successful you were, you know your numbers were high, and you've fallen off track. But it's important to take it one pitch at a time, one game at a time. He knows he's fallen off, but we've seen what he's capable of. And tonight he has another opportunity to show that here at Orleans.
YD in Orleans gearing up for first pitch around 7 o'clock. Make sure you stay locked to the YD Red Sox Baseball Network throughout the broadcast. But if you can't do so, make sure you stay locked to our Twitter, YD_Red Sox, for updates throughout the contest. Alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. We'll be with you in just a few moments for first pitch. But for now, hey fans, have you ever thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Szymanski of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for home buying and selling. Call Emily Szymanski at 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. Approaching first pitch on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. From Eldridge Park alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. And Wyatt Hoffman leading off for the Red Sox against Max Rajic. The second time that YD fans have heard his name called. Second start for Rajic against the Red Sox. His last start against YD on July 11th, a 6-2 loss as Hoffman cracks it to the right side and a shoestring grab made by Peyton Chatagnier, the second baseman, for out number 1. So a quick out for Wyatt Hoffman to the second baseman Chatagnier. In the infield with him, Trey Harmon playing first, David Marcano at short, and Tyler Locklear manning the hot corner. Garrett Guillemette is the battery mate for Max Rajic from UCLA, and the righty deals. First pitch fastball swung on and missed by Tanner Smith, the DH from Oregon, for strike 1. So a Pac-12 matchup here, Conference of Champions. And Tanner Smith DHing today for the first time in what seems like a long time. One of the most coveted assets of his game is his glove, as the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball is in there for strike 2. In the outfield, left to right, Luke Keeschel, Chase DeLauder, and Julio Marcano behind Rajic. And Luke Keeschel, the freshman from San Francisco, could be a big difference in this game, for better or for worse, as Smith goes down swinging on the breaking ball for out number 2. Peyton Graham at the plate, the right-handed hitter from Oklahoma. And the reason that Keeschel could be a big deal, for better or for worse, is that offensively he's a force, but defensively hasn't played much left field. This is just the second time that he's played left in a full game. Played 1 inning at left before his CCBL time, and yesterday had to play left because of an injury, a collision that the Firebirds saw. Breaking ball missed low, and the fastball is on the outside corner to Peyton Graham, count even at 1-1. Well, Graham, the last time he played in Orleans, he was hitting .375. That was on June 27th. Today, it's July 17th, and he's hitting .240. He's really fallen off for YD, and now 2 balls and 1 strike on the changeup that misses low. 2 home runs for Peyton Graham, though, so the power really has fallen off, too. Those home runs came early. Big swing and a miss on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No one on, 2 outs. And Max Rajic seems to be establishing the fastball early on. Breaking ball misses low and away for ball 3. The count is now full to Peyton Graham. Rajic went 2 2/3 against YD earlier this year. That was the shortest outing that he's had this year. Breaking ball on the lower portion of the strike zone. Strike 3 called. The home plate umpire, Rich Guy Tony, revs up the lawnmower, and Peyton Graham, with a slow walk back to the dugout, signed retired. Back-to-back strikeouts to get outs number 2 and 3. Tanner Smith, Peyton Graham go down for those outs. And Max Rajic appears to be dealing early on in this ball game. Middle of the first, no score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds, right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein from Eldridge Park. No score between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. An Eastern Division matchup with playoff implications up the wazoo. Get used to hearing that. The Eastern Division separated by a grand total of 5 points between the first place team and the last place team. Brewster on top, Chatham in the basement, but maybe not necessarily for long. And YD up by 3 points on the Firebirds. Chase DeLauder leading off for Orleans. Slowly hit ground ball to third, and Zach Luke gathers and fires across the diamond in time for out number 1. So an identical start, nearly identical for Adam Meyer compared to Max Rajic in the last half inning. First pitch fastball got some weak contact for a quick out. Adam Meyer starting for YD, his third start as a Red Sox and fourth appearance from British Columbia. At 6'1", 205 with a 5.55 ERA. Fastball is on the top portion of the strike zone for strike 1 to Corey Acton, who was 2 for 4 yesterday. Acton, a left-handed hitter, and his bread and butter is really just getting on base as he avoids the fastball inside. The count now even at 1-1. Acton with a .438 on base percentage in 2021 for the University of Florida in 31 games. Ground ball sharply hit up the middle, ranging to his left gram, spinning, firing, in time, count him. Peyton Graham, a web gem for out number 2 in the bottom of the first. So Acton doesn't get on base there. By the way, his .438 on base percentage would have ranked 8th in the SEC if he was eligible. Needed more at-bats, needed more playing time. But he gets more playing time later, plenty more opportunities to get on base and strengthen that OBP. Here comes Luke Keeschel, the left fielder, who was 2 for 3 yesterday with 2 RBIs. Now Keeschel's 3 for 14 in limited time with the Firebirds. He's an interesting case. He led the Dons from San Francisco in average and hits and triples. 320, 64 hits, 4 triples. And takes the first pitch fastball for strike 1. Adam Meyer with 2 outs and no one on. Elevates the fastball way high by the brow. Count even at 1-1. But Keeschel didn't have any other offers coming out of high school with San Francisco or JUCO, and that was really a godsend. Co-freshman of the year in the WCC, all first-team selection, and more importantly, a freshman All-American. Had hits in 8 of his final 9 games for San Francisco. The exception to that streak, the one hitless game, was his final game. The breaking ball, a slider off the plate, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, no one on. And the slider is down the middle for strike 2. No score between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. Luke Keeschel, the right-handed hitter from San Francisco, at the dish. And Adam Meyer seems to be establishing the slider pretty early on. Meyer deals again. This is a fastball. Clock to left field, and it is caught. A shoestring grab by Crew Robinson, side retired. No runs, no hits, no one left on. Orleans sent down in order. No score at the end of 1 between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. Right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein from Eldridge Park, and YD New Orleans scoreless in the top of the second inning. Cody Huff, the righty from Stanford, leading off against the righty from UCLA. Max Rajic worked a scoreless first inning in order, 2 strikeouts, and the first pitch curveball bends in for strike one. Well, Rajic had himself a great 2021, a 2021 Pac-12 All-Conferencer. Freshman All-American, didn't have a single start though. That was the thing, is that Rajic is trying to become a starter for UCLA next season. Fastball is on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. And Max Rajic worked a very efficient first inning, 2 pitches into the second. He's already coming up on his 14th, and his 14th is cracked to shallow left field. The shortstop, Marcano, is under it to make the catch for out number 1. So Cody Huff is retired. That brings up Crew Robinson, one of the wild cards for YD this year. When I say wild card, I mean it's tough to really know what to expect from Crew Robinson. Just a few days ago, he was playing in the Utah College League, and if you haven't heard of it, I don't think anyone would really blame you. It's a brand new college summer baseball league, only play 3 games a week, and it was just something that Robinson was doing to stay loose as he takes the fastball off the plate for ball 1 and swings through the second pitch fastball, count even at 1-1. A JUCO transfer from the College of Southern Idaho going to UC San Diego next year, a JUCO All-American, so he can play. Breaking ball taken for strike 2. It was the curveball that Rajic has done a great job just dropping into the strike zone today. But Robinson got the call saying that YD needed some players after the draft, losing a couple of players, some injuries, and now Crew Robinson is here to fill in the gaps as a foul ball goes off of the unguarded portion of Garrett Guillemet's left leg. So he's trying to hobble it off. But Crew Robinson hit a cool 400 for CSI in 2021. That'll play at pretty much any level. Got the attention of Scott Pickler, who knows his college coach, and that was the connection. That's all he needed to get to the Cape, but said he didn't really feel many nerves yesterday when he hit his first home run as a Red Sox. Plenty of nerves there as he keeps the bat on his shoulder for strike 3 called on the changeup right down the middle. So the 3rd strikeout already for Max Rajic, the UCLA righty, and Chase Luttrell, the right fielder, a lefty from Long Beach State at the dish. So if strikeouts are a forte for Rajic, it could be a tough matchup for Chase Luttrell, who leads the team with 26 strikeouts on the year. That's the bad news. The good news, as he takes the curveball for strike 1, is that he's been lights out on the road. He's been fantastic just seeing beach balls out there. The best road hitter that YD has to offer. Hitting .306 on the road, but just .179 at home. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luttrell, and he pops it up, foul ground behind home plate. The catcher, Guillemet, flips his mask, and it's into the first row. Out of play. Now, Garrett Guillemet had a pretty good read on it, knew exactly where to be, and that's a tough play to judge. Where's the wall? How quickly is the wall coming up? And how much time do I have? And Guillemet, if there was more foul ground to work with, he probably would have recorded that 3rd out. And the changeup gets way away from Rajic, high and outside. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chase Luttrell, who is 2 for his last 16 over the past 5 games. Rajic deals. Luttrell watches the curveball on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings for Max Rajic, and 4 total in the middle of the second. No score between the Firebirds and the Red Sox right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Bottom of the second, no score on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Adam Meyer, the righty from British Columbia, on the bump for the Red Sox, as fresh as can be. Just 9 pitches to get 3 outs in the first inning. And Chase DeLauder, the left-handed hitter from James Madison, starting off for Orleans. And this just isn't just any left-handed hitter from James Madison. 6 home runs on the season, tied for the best mark in the league. He lines it down the left field line, slicing foul on the first pitch changeup by Adam Meyer. And anytime that DeLauder swings the bat, it's scary. But especially when he's leading off, believe it or not, he's actually the best leadoff hitter in the CCBL at .563, a .563 batting average for Chase DeLauder, who leads the league in home runs, tied for that mark with Lyle Miller Green from Chatham. But also plenty of power coming from Wareham with Owen Diodati. 1 ball, 1 strike after a screeching line drive down the left field line and a changeup that missed low. Here's another changeup on the outside corner, 1-2. But DeLauder went 1 for 4 yesterday in the 5-4 win on the road against Wareham, hitting .309 on the season. A rising sophomore has logged 18 games for Orleans, chops it to the right side, foul, and out of play. Drew Bowser was trying to charge in down the first base line to keep it fair, but just couldn't get there. Now, here's the interesting thing about DeLauder is that even though he's reached base safely in 6 of his past 7 games, he's 4 for his last 21, a .190 in his last 5 games. And that comes off the heels of a great 5-game stretch. Grounds it over to Hoffman at second, plays it on a wacky hop over his head, and throws it over to first in time for the first out. Wyatt Hoffman looked like he was fielding a ground ball from one of those weird yellow training balls with the bumps on them that give you those unpredictable hops, because at the last minute kind of hit the edge of the grass and just popped over his head. At 5'10", the second shortest player on the team, and Hoffman did his best and got it to go for the first down. But as I said, Chase DeLauder had a 5-game stretch where he was 12 for 21, .571, and now 4 for his last 22. Trey Harmon, the first baseman, hitting from the right side with 1 out, no one on, and no score. A rising junior who's transferring to Stetson now. No balls, 1 strike. Make it no balls and 2 strikes as Adam Meyer delivers a fastball right down the middle. Harmon transferring to Stetson from Kentucky. Former first baseman for the Wildcats, who was a starter at times. Ended up losing his job late in the season. Only appeared in 8 games in the months of April and May. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Meyer wastes a fastball above the zone. And Adam Meyer with that 5.55 ERA, just trying to settle into what he knows best. His stuff is lethal. And there's the stuff again. A slider in the dirt that Harmon could not resist. The first strikeout of the day for Adam Meyer. And there are 2 away in the bottom of the second. No score and no one on for Tyler Locklear. Locklear, a rising sophomore from VCU, A-10 player of the year. And YD certainly knows a thing or two about the A-10. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch fastball by Locklear. No balls and 1 strike. They got a big boost from Jared Lyons coming from George Mason in his first appearance yesterday. 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. So they're team A-10 up until now. And Locklear takes the fastball low, count even at 1-1. Hitting .230 on the season. The interesting thing is he struck out 21 times so far to just 5 walks, and typically the strikeout to walk ratio is a strength of his. Big swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the slider on the outer half of the plate. And this past year at VCU, he walked 46 times and only struck out 40 times. So Locklear with a bit of a statistical anomaly, the strikeout to walk ratio. Fastball outside, count even at 2-2. And Adam Meyer coming up And throwing his fastball for a strike early. The slider has had a lot of break to it. He's been wasting it when he wants to. No bother here. The slider gets Locklear to chase on the outer, half strike 3. And the second strikeout of the day for Adam Meyer retires the side in the bottom of the second. No score at the end of 2 between the Firebirds and the Red Sox right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Top of the third inning, no score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network from Eldridge Park. And here to tell you about the rest is Will Connerly.
Thanks, Mr. Klein. No score here as both pitchers have been working effectively. Top of the third, and Drew Bowser to the plate for YD. First pitch misses low from the right-hander. Max Rajic from UCLA has worked 2 efficient frames, 2 scoreless frames, 6 up, 6 down with 4 strikeouts. And the breaking ball in there for strike 1 to Drew Bowser. A ball and a strike, top of the third, no score. Bowser fouls the breaking ball away to the left side. Bowser 3 for 22, hitting 136. Had 2 hits yesterday, including a 9th inning home run. And he was due to have a big knock after leading Stanford in doubles and hitting over 300. As the pitch misses upstairs from Rajic, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Briley Knight and Zach Liu to follow. 7, 8, and 9 due up here in the third as the pitch misses inside from Rajic and the count runs full. So the 6th pitch of the at-bat awaits. The full count offering from Rajic. Breaking ball hit to the left side by Bowser, but it's over to Marcano at short, and Bowser is retired. Softly hit ball over to shortstop. There's 1 away. Briley Knight comes to the plate, and the right-hander has now retired 7 in a row here at Eldridge Park, and he has been pretty efficient in his starts this year at home. He's yet to surrender a run at home. Through 2 starts, making his 3rd and 2nd against YD as the pitch misses upstairs, and 1 ball, no strikes to Briley Knight. He just went 2 2/3 with 4 earned runs, 2 hits. As Briley Knight swings through the offering, a ball and a strike. Had 1 walk and 3 strikeouts during that outing. He was riding a 10-plus inning scoreless streak until YD was able to get to him, but coming back with a little vengeance with 2 really good frames to begin this outing, and he's got 1 out in the 3rd, and now Briley Knight in a 1-ball, 2-strike hole as he swings through the outside fastball. And the 1-2. Hit up the middle, right back to Max Rajic, the pitcher. And he goes and steps on first as Briley Knight is retired. So there's 2 away. Knight didn't make himself all the way up to the line in that situation. And it was Max Rajic who was able to glove it, walk over to first, step on the bag, and then throw it around the horn for the 2nd out. So 2 away, Zach Liu to the plate. Here against the UCLA right-hander. First pitch misses upstairs, the fastball. Zach Lou 0 for his last 9. Started the year 0 for 14, then had a 3-hit performance as the pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the top of the third, with Lou hitting 118 on the season. And the pitch to Zach Lou, he takes it. The fastball again from the right-hander Radjic, 2 balls and a strike. Lou with an open stance. Swinging it from the right side, playing third base today. And Radjic out of the wind. The pitch, swing and a miss by Lou. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the third. And Radjic delivers. Lou fires it up the middle, and it's a single to center field as Chase DeLauder gloves it in center, and it's a 2-out knock for Zach Lou. He's aboard, and now Wyatt Hoffman will come to the plate with 2 outs and Lou on first base in the top of the third. Zach Lou, a good piece of hitting with 2 strikes to hit it right back up the middle against Radjic and YD. It took all the way through the lineup before they recorded their first hit, but it's done by the 9th place hitter Zach Lou. After the previous 8 were retired in order for the right-hander. Quick look over at Lou at first after Radjic comes set. Working out of the stretch for the first time. A check over on Lou with Wyatt Hoffman to the plate. Wyatt Hoffman's been one of the best hitters in the league with runners on base. And the first pitch in there for strike 1. Hoffman with 20 hits on the year to pace the team, and he also paces the league with a .688 average with runners on base. He's got Zach Lou at first and takes the next breaking ball for strike, now in a 0-2 hole. But a .688 mark, impressive the way Hoffman has prevailed in situations when ducks are on the pond. The 0-2. Hit up the middle by Wyatt Hoffman. It's going to be down and left. Hoffman's aboard. Zach Lou's rushing to third base. Hoffman's going to be settling into second. He dives into second base, and he has an 0-2 hit to center field and motors into second. YD's got runners on second and third after Wyatt Hoffman comes through again with runners aboard as that .688 average with runners on base continues to expand. The best hitter in the league with runners aboard, and he continues that narrative there with a knock to center field, and that brings up Tanner Smith. So after not getting a hit in 8 tries against the right-hander Max Radjic, Zach Lou has a single, Wyatt Hoffman follows, and now runners on second and third for Tanner Smith. A prime opportunity for the YD Red Sox. First pitch taken on the outside corner for strike 1 here against Tanner Smith. Hitting over 300 in the last 10 games has really turned it on. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, now in a 0-2 hole. Tanner Smith had a 2-home run, 4 RBI game at Red Wilson Field. He's 1 for 15 since that game as he fouls it back. But yet again, another double for Wyatt Hoffman. He's on second base, being aggressive when he hits the ball into the outfield and showing his extra base hit power. And the pitch to Tanner Smith taken outside for ball 1. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on second and third. Tanner Smith at the plate. And Tanner Smith is rung up on the outside fastball. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We send it to the bottom of the third on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, no score. YD was threatening last frame with runners on second and third after hits from Zach Liu and then a team-leading sixth double for Wyatt Hoffman. He's now doubled in 4 straight games. In the first pitch, a strike taken on the outside corner, a fastball from Julio Marcano. A rising senior. Takes the pitch low. A ball and a strike. 7, 8, and 9, Julio Marcano, Garrett Guillemette, and David Marcano due up in the order. Pitch gets away from Cody Huff, the catcher, goes back to the backstop, misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. Meyer out of the wind, the 2-1 pitch. Misses low, now 3 balls and a strike. Marcano, a .323 career hitter at the NCAA level throughout 4 seasons. Hitting .182 for Orleans in the month of July. Chops it to the left side. Zach Liu comes up on it at third, over to Bowser at first. And it's Marcano retired on the ground out. And now 7 straight put down for Adam Meyer, the starting pitcher for YD. 1 out in the bottom of the third. And now the catcher, Garrett Guillemette, comes to the plate. Meyer settling in. We've seen his ability to work through a lineup in his first start at Wareham. His final 3 frames, he was able to set down the gateman in order and has had some spotty outings ever since, but really is looking like he's coming into his own now. Nothing in 1 count as the first pitch is a strike to Garrett Guillemette, the catcher for the Firebirds. And the next pitch, he gets him out in front of a slider, nothing in 2 the count. Guillemette, a rising sophomore at USC, hitting .600 with runners in scoring position this season. Giving Wyatt Hoffman a run for his money, but he chops it left side and foul. In the final 10 games of the season, he hit .451 and really settled in and was able to thrive and earn all Pac-12 honors at USC this past season in his freshman campaign. And he said that going to the Cape, it's a bucket list thing that he wants to do, and he's had a pretty good season so far, hitting .216 with 3 home runs. As the pitch is missed outside, and hitting home runs, that's going to be a common theme when we introduced Firebirds in this lineup. They lead the league in home runs. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and it definitely helps that they were able to hit 7 in a single game. The 1-2. Meyer out of the wind, chopped foul away by Garrett Guillemette. He fouled it away out of play to the right side. A ball and 2 strikes. Adam Meyer trying to make work of Garrett Guillemette. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Rung up, strike 3. Adam Meyer got Garrett Guillemette looking, and now he's gone 8 up, 8 down. 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and David Marcano to the plate. The shortstop for Orleans playing in his 4th game. 1 for 7, hitting .143. Breaking ball taken upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Marcano. David Marcano, a rising senior at NJIT. As he chops that ball to the left side, foul. Hit .238 in 2021 with 21 strikeouts and 11 walks, but had a fantastic COVID-shortened season as he led the squad in average, hitting .317 at NJIT. Had good speed with 16 stolen bases as well as he takes the pitch low and inside. Now 2 balls and a strike to David Marcano. Adam Meyer trying to retire the lineup in order. He could if he could make work of David Marcano. He's retired the first 8 Firebirds he's seen as the pitch misses upstairs by Meyer. Now 3 balls and a strike to David Marcano, the 9th place hitter and shortstop. Meyer gets the signs from Cody Huff. And out of the wind, the pitch. That ball hit well to the left side by Marcano. It's back at the track and gone. And that's a 1-0 lead for Orleans in the bottom of the 3rd. A solo 2-out home run for David Marcano. His first of the summer as he rounds the bases. And Orleans with a 1-0 lead after Marcano crushed a 3-1 pitch from Adam Meyer as he notches it downtown. The 3rd home run allowed by Adam Meyer this summer. And the long ball coming to bite him here in the bottom of the 3rd. A 1-0 lead for Orleans. They continue to pace the East with the most power. Their team, or at least league high, 19th home run hit. Leading the league in slugging as well, hitting .372 coming into this game as a team slugging. And now they've hit 13 home runs in their last 11 games played as a squad as the pitch misses inside. It's .434 to dead center, .359 to the right center gap, and .314 down the line in right field, .350 to left center field. But none of those locations are where David Marcano opted to go. He went where it's .300 down the left field line and hit it out of the park on a 3-ball, 1-strike pitch. Got a pitch he could handle. The lineup flips back over to Peyton Chatagnier. And the 1-2 pitch from Adam Meyer. Strike 3 called. Adam Meyer drops in the breaking ball and responds after allowing the home run to pick up his 4th strikeout of the outing. But after 3, it's David Marcano, the difference right now, the solo home run for him. And Orleans with a 1-0 lead. We send it to the 4th on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back with you on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Peyton Graham to lead off. The 4th for YD, and they now trail 1-0. The first pitch to Peyton Graham is bounced, ball 1. Both pitchers were throwing the ball fairly effectively, ultra effectively through the first 2 innings. Max Rajic found himself in a little bit of trouble after getting 2 outs in the 3rd. Zach Liu had a single, Wyatt Hoffman had a double, but he got out of the frame, striking out Tanner Smith with runners on 2nd and 3rd. The pitch to Peyton Graham up and in. And 3 balls, no strikes to Peyton Graham. Peyton Graham, Cody Huff, and Crew Robinson due up here in the 4th for YD, trailing 1-0. And the pitch upstairs to Peyton Graham, a leadoff walk surrendered by the right-hander Max Rajic. And Graham gets aboard, drawing the free pass, and now Cody Huff to the plate. Rajic. 52 pitches thrown for the right-hander, and the 53rd is a single by Cody Huff. He lines it to the left side, hard on the ground over to left field. Keishel gathers it in left, and it's a first pitch single. Cody Huff ambushed the fastball, drives it to the left side, and he had been hitting just 188 with runners on base, but he comes through there and moves Peyton Graham up 90 feet to second, and now YD in business. Runners on first and second for Crew Robinson. Crew Robinson, the JUCO All-American, squaring around to bunt, pulls back, and it misses for ball one. They go to appeal at second. Says he did not go around, so 1 ball, no strikes. Here to Crew Robinson with runners on first and second. Rajic comes set the 1-0. Misses low. It's scooped up by Garrett Guillemette. Hit the dirt once, he scooped it up, then asks for time. Rick Gaetani grants it to him as Garrett Guillemette has a conference with his right-hander, Max Rajic. And now they're all going to have a conference on the mound as the pitching coach comes out to have a talking to with Max Rajic, who surrendered a 4-pitch walk to begin the top of the fourth to Peyton Graham. Cody Huff then got a single. He drove a fastball to left field, hit it hard on the ground through the 5-6 hole. And now runners on first and second, nobody out for Crew Robinson. Crew Robinson, a new addition to the team for YD, transferring to UC San Diego from the College of Southern Idaho, where he was an All-American after hitting .400 this past season as he pulls the bunt back for ball two. In 48 games, he hit 14 home runs, 16 doubles, and had 61 runs driven in. And he'll still have 3 years of eligibility left. Going to San Diego after not having a Division I offer out of high school. And the pitch. It's in there for strike one to Crew Robinson. So Max Rajic trying to work around runners on first and second with nobody out. Here in the top of the fourth, YD trailing by a run. Peyton Graham led off the frame with a walk. Cody Huff followed with a single. And it's Robinson who fouls it away to the left side. He'd been attempting to bunt throughout the duration of this at-bat. The first 2 offerings he pulled back, they missed for balls, but it's foul there on that attempt, and now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch awaits with runners on first and second for Crew Robinson. Hit a home run yesterday. Breaking ball, oh, it's rung up for strike 3 in there, and Crew Robinson watches strike 3 called for the second time today. There's 1 out here in the top of the fourth, and Chase Luttrell comes to the plate. He struck out looking to end the second inning. And now Kelly Nicholson's going to come make a mound visit. With Chase Luttrell, the left-handed hitter, coming up, Kelly Nicholson's going to call out to the bullpen. So the night is through for Max Rajic. He records 1 out here in the top of the fourth. And the bullpen now is going to be on the mound for Orleans. We'll tell you all about the lefty coming in next on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. back on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. So Max Radjic goes 3 1/3, responsible for runners on first and second. Walked Peyton Graham. Cody Huff had a single. He struck out Crew Robinson, but then Kelly Nicholson wants to go to the left-hander Zach Morris to face Chase Luttrell. Lifts the leg, then turns around, and Peyton Graham wasn't going anywhere at second. The runner at second, Peyton Graham, and the runner at first, Cody Huff. Chase Luttrell, one of the team's better hitters on the road this season, hitting above 300. But 0 for 12 against Orleans on the year. Could he come through here against the lefty, Zach Morris? That ball hit to center field by Chase Luttrell. Going to the left is DeLauder. He dives, but it's down. It's past DeLauder in left center field. Peyton Graham comes around to score. Crew Robinson comes around to score. And Chase Luttrell dives into third base. He gets up for a second, thinks about coming home, but he does after the ball's out of play. So 3 runs come across for YD on the play. Chase Luttrell with the triple, then the air coming around to score. And it's YD now leading 3-1 in the top of the fourth after Chase Luttrell welcomes Zach Morris to the contest. So Chase Luttrell coming through, driving in both runs. His 5th triple as an NCAA player, after having 4 in a 3-year career at Long Beach State. Drew Bowser now to the plate here in the fourth. Takes the first pitch outside against the lefty, Zach Morris. So Chase Luttrell with the triple. Peyton Graham and Cody Huff come around to score. And then Chase Luttrell comes around to score after the throw from David Marcano went wide. It went out of play, and he was granted the extra 90 feet to come around and score. So Drew Bowser hitting with 1 out and a 2-ball, no strike count. The pitch to Bowser upstairs, and now the count is 3 balls and no strikes. Bowser, the first baseman for YD, 3 for 25 on the season, hitting 120. Had his first home run of the summer yesterday. And Morris comes set, takes a deep breath, delivers the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Up and in on the hard-throwing left-hander, 6'3", 220. Coming from Arkansas, and this is the 3rd time he's pitched against the YD Red Sox. Pitch upstairs, Drew Bowser draws the free pass. So YD getting motion on the base paths during this inning. Peyton Graham led it off with a walk. Cody Huff a single, Crew Robinson struck out, and then Kelly Nicholson after the strikeout. Max Radjic was chased, and they brought in the left-hander, Zach Morris, and a big reason why Chase Luttrell doesn't hit lefties that well. Was able to get the triple, though, and come around to score on the play. And YD has plated 3 runs here in the top of the fourth. They lead 3-1. Swing and a miss on the first offering to Briley Knight, the left-handed hitting center fielder, here against the lefty, Zach Morris. Morris comes set and delivers the 0-1 pitch to Briley Knight. Same pitch, but this time Briley Knight doesn't offer at it. 1 ball and 1 strike, as he opted not to chase the breaking ball low from the lefty. On July 11th, Morris got 2 outs against YD, surrendered 1 hit and 1 run, as the fastball is placed on the outside corner right at the knees against Briley Knight. Now there's a ball and 2 strikes. On the season, 6 1/3 for Zach Morris with a 2.84 ERA, and this is his 7th appearance of the summer, and his 3rd coming against the YD Red Sox. Out of the 7 appearances, this is just the 2nd time, though, he's pitched at Eldridge Park, as Briley Knight is rung up The fastball on the inside corner got Knight for out number 2. So 2 outs, and now Zach Liu to the plate as the left-hander Morris is able to record the out, getting Briley Knight after surrendering a free pass as Liu fouls the first pitch off to the right side. 0-1 the count. Max Rajic recorded the first out in this frame of Crew Robinson, then was pulled. Chase Luttrell tripled, drove in 2 runs as Zach Liu squares around a bunt, then pulls it back. Was looking to bunt on the 0-1 pitch here with 2 outs. And Drew Bowser on first base. The top of the order, Wyatt Hoffman waiting on deck. The 0-2 pitch awaits from the lefty, Zach Morris. Swing and a miss. Zach Liu goes down swinging. And the side is retired. But not before 3 runs come across to score on 2 hits for YD. 1 left on. YD leads 3-1 in the middle of the 4th on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back with you on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Bottom of the 4th, 2-3-4 set to hit for Orleans. Here in the bottom frame of the 4th, but YD with a 3-1 lead. And the first pitch from Adam Meyer in there for strike 1. He's gone 3 innings thus far, and he's been pretty effective. Just 1 hit allowed, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. The 1 hit was a solo home run from David Marcano as he fires a strike into Corey Acton. 0-2 the count. Acton has 3 hits on the summer, 2 of which have been doubles as the pitch misses outside. But at Florida had a great on-base percentage, hitting .230 on the summer with 1 run driven in. Meyer out of the wind, the 1-2 pitch. Misses inside, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Acton, Keishel, and DeLauder set to hit for the 8-8-3 Orleans Firebirds. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Adam Meyer with another strikeout. His 2nd consecutive K dating back to the end of the 3rd and his 5th overall during the outing. Adam Meyer with another breaking ball. And now Luke Keishel to hit. With 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Keishel 0 for 1. Flew out to left field last time as the first pitch misses low. And Cody Huff not able to gather it. It caroms over to YD's dugout. So a new ball will be thrown to the right-hander Adam Meyer. Meyer, 6'1", 205. The righty delivers. Grounded to the left side. Zach Lou ranges to his left to make the play. Throws it over to first. And it's Keishel who's retired as Zach Lou's a vacuum over at the hot corner. He scoops it up and fires it over. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Chase DeLauder now to the plate. He's 0 for 1, hitting above 300 on the summer and tied for the league lead with 6 home runs. Breaking ball, strike 1 to Chase DeLauder, who was a .385 career hitter across 42 games with James Madison. Of course, the adjustments from James Madison over to the Cape, and he's continued his success. The 0-1 from Adam Meyer. That ball hit hard to the left side by DeLauder. It's out of play, foul. Over at the 300 mark, right down the left field line. It looks like he almost chopped that one. Didn't get a great piece of it, but sprayed it out, cut it out to the left side, and foul by DeLauder. But every time he comes up to the plate, seems like he's hitting the ball hard. And that's what Orleans has seen from DeLauder so far this summer, hitting .381 over the last 10 games in the month of July. And one of the better players James Madison has seen as the pitch misses low from the right-hander. And DeLauder's successful 2021 summer comes after he played in the Rockingham County Baseball League in 2020 as he hits that ball hard down the right field line. And foul, a ball and 2 strikes still on DeLauder when he put together perhaps the best season in league history. He hit .527 with 18 home runs and 45 runs driven in, while helping the Broadway Bruins claim the RCBL championship. And he's putting together a fine summer campaign as well in 2021 here on the Cape, potentially going in the top 5 rounds of next year's draft. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Chase DeLauder. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, YD leads 3-1. Pitch misses low. Cody Huff able to block it. They appeal over to third. He didn't go around. Count juices up to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the power hitter, Chase DeLauder out of James Madison. With 13 runs driven in on the season and 10 extra base hits. The pitch to DeLauder. He stays alive as he fouls it away to the right side. DeLauder facing some of the league's nation's best pitchers every single night. But has showcased that his .385 plus average at James Madison, one of the best marks in the nation, was no joke for the power hitting left-handed hitter as he fouls the ball off himself and is shaken up for a moment, staying alive on the full count. And the thing about DeLauder as well, a .385 career hitter, someone who hits for average, also for power. He uses the whole field. And during this at-bat, he's also staying strong, not striking out just yet, hitting hard and fighting hard against Adam Meyer. The pitch misses inside, and he draws himself a free pass, putting together a good at-bat. But the thing with DeLauder is he has even distribution throughout the field. If the pitch is outside, he's going to take the pitch outside. And 12 hits to the outfield so far this year. He's had 4 to right, 4 to center, 4 to left. And he's been able to spray the ball all throughout the ballpark. And that's why you see him consistently hitting over 300, hit .385 at James Madison, hit .527 in the summer of 2020, and hitting above 300 here in the country's most premier collegiate league. Is the Trey Harmon first pitch to him. He swings through a breaking ball. So Adam Meyer got a strikeout to end the 3rd of Peyton Chatinier to respond from giving up a home run to David Marcano in the 3rd. And then got 2 quick outs in the 4th before surrendering the walk to Chase DeLauder as he gets ahead on Trey Harmon, 0-2 in the count after he goes around on the breaking ball. Meyer comes set. The 0-2 to Harmon. Swing and a miss, and Adam Meyer records another strikeout. Worked 4 innings to begin the ball game for the right-hander. 6 strikeouts and just 1 run allowed. Through 4, 3-1 lead for YD. We send it to the 5th on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back with you on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. The top of the order set to hit for YD here in the top of the 5th. YD leading 3-1. 4 hits and 3 runs for the Red Sox. 1 hit and 1 run for Orleans. It was a solo home run. The first pitch from the left-hander. Grounded to the left side. Marcano, the shortstop, gathers, throws over to first. And Hoffman is retired, 1 away here in the 5th. Tanner Smith to the plate. He's 0-2 with 2 strikeouts. And it was an interesting decision that came across in the 4th. Max Rajic got a strikeout of Crew Robinson. And then the next hitter, it was Zach Morris on the mound and Chase Luttrell at the plate. He ended up hitting a triple and then came around to score after the throw went wide from David Marcano as the first pitch is taken for a strike. Tanner Smith. 0-1 the count. So David Marcano, he's accounted for a run in terms of the solo home run. But when the ball went away from the third baseman Tyler Locklear, as Tanner Smith fouls that one away to the left side, 0-2 the count with 1 out. When the ball went away from Tyler Locklear when Chase Luttrell had the triple, it went out of play and Luttrell was able to come around to score. So he had 2 RBIs on the triple and then was also able to come across against the lefty Morris. And the 0-2 pitch to Tanner Smith. He chases the high fastball and he's retired for the 3rd time via the strikeout. This is Smith's first multi-strikeout game since the 3rd game of the year, and he's been down via the strikeout 3 times today. This is a single game high in strikeouts. 3 at-bats and 3 Ks for Tanner Smith after being the team's leading hitter over the past 10 games as Peyton Graham to the plate drew a walk in the 4th and then was able to come around to score on the triple by Chase Luttrell. A 3-1 lead for YD here in the top of the 5th. And Peyton Graham at the plate with 2 outs after Hoffman and Smith have been retired against the lefty. High fastball to Peyton Graham upstairs and a 2-ball no-strike count to Peyton Graham, the Oklahoma Sooner, hitting .240 on the summer for YD with 18 hits, 2 home runs, and 7 runs driven in, facing off against the southpaw. Pitch misses high, and YD, as a team, they have much less success against the lefties than the righties statistically so far this summer. And the same can be said for Peyton Graham at the plate. Despite being a right-handed hitter, hits the righties much better than he does the lefties, and that was the same story at Oklahoma as well. The 3-0 pitch is in there for strike one on the inside. 3 balls and a strike. As Morris is working here to Peyton Graham, top of the 5th. A 2-run lead for YD with 2 outs, nobody on. The lights on at Eldridge Park and the crowd has settled in nicely. Morris comes set. The 3-1 pitch grounded to the left side by Peyton Graham. Big hop by Tyler Locklear. He throws it over to first. It's scooped up but not in time as Peyton Graham is able to leg out an infield single. Tyler Locklear backed up. He got the big hop and threw it across the diamond. It took a few bounces till it got into the glove of Trey Harmon, the first baseman for Orleans, but Peyton Graham was in there in time. He's able to get aboard for the second time today. Had a walk in the 4th and now a single here in the 5th. A 2-out knock in the 5th hit of the day for YD. Been hitting a crucial statistic for YD. They've been hard to come by, hitting under 200 over the past 5 games as it's Morris, the lefty, with a check over on Graham at first base back in time. And Cody Huff to the plate was aggressive last time. First pitch he saw, he hammered it through the 5-6 hole on the ground. He ambushed the fastball of Max Rajic, and then one batter later after he struck out Crew Robinson, his night was complete. The final line for the starter, 3 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. The UCLA right-hander passed the ball off to the lefty, Zach Morris out of Arkansas. And Cody Huff at the plate. The first pitch to him misses outside. Then a check over at first on Peyton Graham. Garrett Gillum at the catcher popped up and threw it down to first base to Trey Harmon. But Graham back safely. So Morris wants to keep an eye over on Peyton Graham, and Garrett Gillimet doing the same, as Graham has a big lead over at first. Breaking ball in there for a strike to Cody Huff. So the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike to the Stanford catcher Cody Huff. 1 for 2, had a single and came around to score in the 4th. And now up to the plate with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Peyton Graham with a big lead over at first, being held by Trey Harmon. It's Morris who comes set, delivers the pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes to Cody Huff. Hitting .255 on the summer, 13 hits now on the year with 5 runs driven in. He had a single in the 4th, but he was hitless in 4 of his past 6 games. And what does he do here? Peyton Graham is running. Cody Huff hits it to the left side, but it's a play gathered by Tyler Locklear. Catches it in the air, and Cody Huff is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. In the middle of the 5th, YD leads 3-1 on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Bottom of the fifth, a 3-1 lead for YD. And all 3 runs came on one play from Chase Luttrell, a triple, and then he came around to score off a throwing error. So Tyler Locklear up to the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was fanned in the second. The first pitch taken for a strike against the right-hander Adam Meyer. Adam Meyer, his most effective outing of the summer, it's happening right now. 4 innings and just 1 hit allowed and 1 run that came on a solo home run as Locklear swings through the next offering and nothing into the count. But Adam Meyer in his most effective outing of the summer thus far, he's just surrendered 2 base runners. Breaking ball outside to Tyler Locklear, who has 4 home runs on the summer. Very talented player. Locklear, the A10 player of the year, had 16 home runs, hit .345 this past year. Hit off the glove of Adam Meyer into center field, and it's another base runner for Orleans. It's a leadoff single here in the 5th, and Tyler Locklear is aboard. Julio Marcano now to the plate. After Locklear gets aboard, he's 1 for 2 now. So 1 runner aboard, and Adam Meyer working here in the 5th. Tyler Locklear with the single up the middle. Meyer now first pitch swinging, hit right side, over by Marcano. It's down. It hits off the wall, then over the wall, and it's going to be a ground rule double. No signal by the umpires just yet. Rick Gaetani, he ran all the way to third base, the home plate umpire, but it's Julio Marcano with the ground rule double. The ball hit down on the right side of the field, in the outfield, of course, and went over the fence, which is a ground rule double, and that's what Julio Marcano has. So runners on second and third, nobody out. And YD, who had a 3-1 lead, still has it, but holding on to it much tighter now with the tying run now in scoring position, and Garrett Guillemette to the plate. He struck out in the 3rd, hitting .216 on the summer with 3 home runs. But hitting here with runners on second and third. It was a single by Tyler Locklear and then a double by Julio Marcano after Adam Meyer had only allowed 2 base runners in the prior 4 innings. Meyer comes set. The pitch. Breaking ball. Hit right side. Back on it is Chase Luttrell. Luttrell under it in right field. Both runners tagging up. He throws it to the cutoff man, Peyton Graham, but both runners advance. Tyler Locklear comes around to score. Julio Marcano moves up to third, and Garrett Guillemette has himself a sacrifice fly to right field, and they cut the deficit, now just trailing by a run. It's 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th. David Marcano now to the plate, hit a home run last time he was up. A solo shot to left field on a 3-ball, 1-strike pitch, and he got a hold of it. After Garrett Guillemette comes through with a sacrifice fly to get the run in for Orleans, but they still have another run out there. The situation is runner on third and Julio Marcano, who had the ground rule double, and then came up and advanced to third base on the sacrifice fly from Garrett Guillemette. So David Marcano hitting here with a runner on third and 1 out. The delay, it's a conference on the mound. Cody Huff went to talk to Adam Meyer. The whole infield had a conference. They congregated for a moment, then went back, and then came out head coach Scott Pickler, buying some time for a new reliever coming into the ballgame. We'll tell you all about the new arm next on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back with you on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Enter Jarrett Godman. And a runner on third for David Marcano. A 3-2 ball game, bottom of the fifth. You've got Julio Marcano, who had a ground rule double and then advanced to second on the sac fly as the infield pinches in. Godman coming to pitch with one away, and Cody Huff throw down to third. Not in time. They keep it a close eye on Marcano. Cody Huff not afraid to pop up. Threw out 3 would-be base stealers in a game earlier this week at Brewster, and has been very effective behind the plate in terms of throwing guys out. So he popped it up to Zach Liu at third base there. Breaking ball, a strike from the right-hander Godman. Godman has pitched against Orleans 2 times, 6 innings in no runs allowed against the Firebirds. He's been very effective. His third appearance here against Orleans, and he gets a strikeout right away out of the bullpen as David Marcano goes down, and Jarrett Godman comes in. The first hitter he sees, he fans David Marcano, and they pulled Adam Meyer and go to the reliever who's had the Firebirds number thus far on the season. Jarrett Godman, in every other outing versus any other team, well, he's surrendered runs, but not against Orleans. He's now 6 1/3 scoreless and coming in a big spot. First pitch, swing and a miss. Peyton Chatagnier, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 0-1 the count. But he came in with a runner on third, 1 out. In the bottom of the fifth, and that run is the tying run, trying to keep him there in the form of Julio Marcano. Peyton Chatagnier, though, he's trying to bring him in. The second baseman at the plate as he fouls it away to the left side. Chatagnier hitting over 300 on the season. 0 for 2 today, has 3 home runs and 9 runs driven in as Jarrett Godman coming in and filling up the zone. 0-2 count. Trying to get out of the pickle that was started by Adam Meyer after Tyler Locklear and Marcano opened up the frame with hits, and Jarrett Godman comes out of the bullpen and gets back-to-back strikeouts after 5. YD on top, 3-2 after Godman comes out of the bullpen and sets down 2 hitters in a row via the punch-out. We send it to the 6th on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Well, Jarrett Godman working strong out of the bullpen, and YD holding on to the lead. Welcome back, top of the 6th. 3-2 lead for YD. And Crew Robinson, Chase Luttrell, and Drew Bowser, the hitters scheduled to hit against the lefty. Zach Morris, gone an inning and 2/3 thus far. And he's been pretty tough against left-handers this year. Before the triple surrender to Chase Luttrell, he had just given up 1 hit to a lefty all season long, and that was a 3-run home run by Tanner Smith. So the 2 hits that lefties have had against the southpaw, they come off the hands of YD hitters as the ball is fouled. Crew Robinson got up right on the knob, a ball and a strike. Robinson, UC San Diego is where he's taking his talents after having a second-team All-American campaign, hitting .400 with 14 home runs, 16 doubles this past year at the junior college level. Hit to the right side. Peyton Chatinier bobbles it for a second, gathers, throws it over to first, and he got him in time over at the bag. Peyton Chatinier stays with it, and there's one away here in the sixth. He bobbled it for a moment, and Crew Robinson was hustling down the line, but it's not in time over at first. Harmon makes the stretch, and Chatinier stays with it. One away in the sixth, and Chase Luttrell to the plate. Chase Luttrell, last time at the plate, ton of excitement was in effect for YD. That play responsible for all 3 runs that YD has is the first pitch taken for a strike against Morris. 0-1 the count. Morris now has recorded 6 outs, has gone 2 complete innings out of the bullpen. After coming in to face Luttrell, the first batter he saw, Chase Luttrell, hit to center field. Back on it is DeLauder. DeLauder's able to glove it over in center for the second out. So Chase Luttrell making DeLauder move a few times out there. The last time, though, DeLauder wasn't able to get to it, and it was a triple for Chase Luttrell. This time, he's able to shade over to the right and retire Chase Luttrell as Drew Bowser comes to the plate. He reached in the fourth on a free pass, but then the side was retired thereafter after the lefty got 2 consecutive strikeouts. The first pitch is strike to Drew Bowser. YD had 3 runs in the fourth after trailing 1-0 after surrendering a tally in the bottom of the third. They took a 3-1 advantage, but Orleans last half inning in the bottom of the fifth scored a run. It's 3-2 here in the top of the sixth. The pitch inside to Drew Bowser. The first baseman for YD today. He can play third, sometimes at DH, or even in the outfield as well. A ball and a strike. Here to Bowser as the southpaw Morris comes set and delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss by Bowser, now in a 2-strike hole. Drew Bowser getting aboard the last 5 games. He's reached base after drawing the walk in the fourth. Bowser hits this one to the right side, popped up towards second base. Peyton Chatinier back on it. In shallow right field, he's able to shade back and make the play. So Drew Bowser's retired, and the lefty Morris sets down YD in order. 1-2-3 in the sixth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And in the middle of the sixth, YD leads 3-2 on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Welcome back to the YD Red Sox Baseball Network here from Eldridge Park. It's a 3-2 ball game, bottom of the sixth, and Jarrett Godman on the mound. And Jarrett Godman was effective out of the bullpen last frame. Was able to get back-to-back strikeouts out of the bullpen. He came in with a runner on third, and that run was the tying run. And 1 out, but struck out David Marcano and Peyton Chatinier to end the frame, strand a runner, and preserve the 1-run advantage for YD. First pitch in there for strike one to Corey Acton, the designated hitter, 0 for 2 today. Next offering, strike two. Jarrett Godman has thrown 8 pitches out of the bullpen, and all of them have been strikes. The right-hander out of Oklahoma, 10 2/3 toss this season and a 3.37 ERA. But through 6 2/3, counting the 2 outs he got last frame, making his 3rd appearance against Orleans, he's yet to surrender a run against the Firebirds. He's been dominant against Orleans, and a ball and 2 strikes. Went 4 scoreless in the first time, then 2 scoreless the next time against the Firebirds. The 1-2. Swing, and did he go around? He did. Jarrett Godman comes out of the pen and strikes out the first 2 guys he sees in the 5th, and he continues to roll, getting Corey Acton to begin the 6th. Luke Keeschel to the plate, 1 out in the 6th. And Jarrett Godman, he's looked good at times this season, but he's completely locked in right now with 3 straight strikeouts out of the pen. First pitch misses inside here to Luke Keeschel, 0 for 2 today. And when the games get tight and YD's back end of the bullpen in full effect, the Reed McLaughlins and CJ Culpeppers at the back end of YD's pen have been ultra effective. And Keeschel 3 for 16 on the season. That's his worst 16 at-bat stretch in the collegiate ranks. That ball hit well to the left side by Keeschel. Talk about worst stretch, forget about it. Game is tied up as Keeschel leaves the yard in the bottom of the 6th. Was San Francisco's best hitter as a freshman. Struggling a little bit now, but hits a bomb to left field, and we're all knotted up in the bottom of the 6th. Jarrett Godman had struck 3 straight Firebirds out, and then Keeschel puts it out of the park, and it's 3-3 in the bottom frame of the 6th. First pitch to DeLauder, strike one. Keeschel, his first home run of the summer. As DeLauder fouls it away. He had 4 home runs at San Francisco. Chase DeLauder hitting at the plate, 0 for 1 today. Pacing the squad with 21 hits, hitting above 300 on the summer as he fouls the next pitch back out of play as well to the left side, nothing into the count. So Godman was completely locked in. But in tight ball games, a pitch that misses by a few inches, and it can make all the difference, and it indeed did for Luke Keeschel. He deposited the ball to left center field, but then Godman turns around and makes quick work of Chase DeLauder, and he goes down via the punch out as well. Jarrett Godman has faced 5 hitters, recorded 4 outs, and all of them have been strikeouts as Trey Harmon now steps into the box with 2 outs here in the 6th. Harmon, a rising junior who's transferring to Stetson. 3 for 8, now 3 for 10 after being 0 for 2 today. So 3 for 10 on the summer. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today. His 3 hits all are singles, but he does have some good power as he takes the pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Played in the PGCBL and was the home run derby champion. And he knows how to hit the ball out of the ballpark as the pitch taken upstairs. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Former Kentucky first baseman and was a time-to-time starter for the Wildcats this past season, but transferring, as mentioned, and takes the 3-0 pitch over the plate for strike one. Hit .294 in 27 games played for the Wildcats this past season, and a .274 career hitter in 48 games played at the collegiate level with 6 home runs. And he hits that ball hard to the left side through the 5-6 hole, and it's a 2-out single for Trey Harmon, his 4th hit of the summer, all of which have been singles, and that extends the frame to Tyler Locklear. And Tyler Locklear singled and then came around to score on an RBI sac fly from Garrett Guillemette in the 5th, and that's how Orleans was able to manufacture a run in the bottom of the 5th, and they made the score 3-2 at the time. And then here in the bottom of the 6th, the solo home run from Luke Keishel, and we're knotted at 3. The strike taken on the first offering from Tyler Locklear, and when the score is deadlocked between YD and Orleans here at Eldridge Park, the fans no stranger to that. Last time the two teams competed here, it was a scoreless draw, a 0-0 affair as the two teams tied. And the day before the matchup happened at Red Wilson Field, YD walked it off against Orleans, so they've played very closely contested battles throughout the duration of this season, and tonight no different. Tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th. A ball and a strike, the offering to Locklear, and it's taken for ball 2. Locklear 1 for 2 today, 4 home runs, hitting .229 on the summer with 14 runs driven in. At the plate with Trey Harmon on first base and Locklear at the plate, a 3-3 ball game. As the pitch misses outside, now 3 balls and a strike. Locklear, 16 home runs, a rising sophomore at VCU this past year, was really good. The A-10 Player of the Year, led the conference in runs, RBI, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage, and he only had 3 offers out of high school. Townsend, Gardner-Webb, and VCU took his talents to VCU and was the best player in the A-10 as he takes that pitch for a strike. And in his career, above 1,000 OPS, trying to come through in the bottom of the 6th for Orleans. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first is Trey Harmon as Jared Godman comes set. And the pitch. Breaking ball fouled back as Tyler Locklear stays alive. Locklear hitting .333 against Jared Godman so far on the summer. And the pitch fouled back. .333, of course, small sample size. Godman has just tossed 6 innings prior to this outing, and then now has recorded 4 outs in this game, trying to get his 3rd. 7 1/3 tossed against Orleans, has faced Locklear a couple times. He's 1 for 2 today. And the offering. That ball hit to the left side. Coming up on it is Crew Robinson, and he retires Locklear to end the frame. 1 run on the solo home run from Luke Keishel, and 2 hits. 1 left on in the 6th, and after 6, we're tied 3-3. We send it to the 7th next on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Hey fans, Devadyne is the official website development company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our league best website and help us with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Devadyne helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out devadyne.com to learn more, and be sure to like Devadyne on Facebook. That's DEVADIGM.com. Back with you on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, tied at 3. And for the 7th, Mr. Brad Klein going to tell you all about it.
Now, thanks, Will. Tied at 3 apiece, and Briley Knight, the left-handed hitter for YD, leading off and swings through the curveball for strike one from Zach Morris, the lefty, who came on in the 4th inning and gave up a triple in his first batter faced. Since then, only one hit allowed, and he settled down. The 2 runs he allowed on that triple didn't belong to him. They belong to the starter, and that's Max Rajic, the UCLA righty who a lot of Orleans fans might think could have gone deeper into this game, but was pulled by Kelly Nicholson. 1 ball, 1 strike on the fastball that skips low by the shins of Briley Knight, who's 0 for 2 on the day, struck out looking his last time up. Knight thought about bunting, pulled back pretty early on in the flight path of that curveball, and it bends in for strike 2. Now, Briley Knight's been known to lay one down every now and again. Seemed like a pretty good time with Tyler Locklear, the third baseman, playing back. The 1-2. Fastball nub down the left field line, slicing foul off the netting and out of play. Now, Zach Morris brandishing a 4.35 career NCAA ERA. Pitched 15 innings this past year at Arkansas and gave up 15 hits. He's come on as one of the premier lefties in the CCBL. The 1-2 to Knight misses low. The fastball doesn't have Knight chasing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Briley Knight hitting .095 over his last now 11 games. 2 for his last 21. And 0 for 7 against Orleans, including his 0 for 2. And Knight waves at the curveball for strike 3. Briley Knight goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today. It's now the 10th time that YD hitters have struck out. Brings up Zach Liu from Cal State Fullerton, the right-handed hitter, who singled his first time up in the 3rd inning but struck out swinging in the 4th. No one on, 1 out, and Liu takes the fastball letter high strike. So Zach Morris, the lefty from Arkansas, working from the stretch with no one on. A tie ball game, and Liu waves at the changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. Zach Morris coming up on his 44th pitch. 30 of them have been strikes. He's gotten 9 outs for the Firebirds. And Lee goes down waving on the changeup outside corner for strike 3. 3 pitches and 3 strikes to Zach Liu. 2 strikeouts to start the top of the 7th inning. And Wyatt Huffman comes up to start off the 7th, or restart the 7th, that is. Flip the lineup card. He was hitting leadoff and doubled in the 3rd inning to left field. That double was wasted after a strikeout by Tanner Smith. Thought about bunting, pulled back, and the breaking ball taken on the inside corner for strike 1. But Wyatt Huffman, unbelievable performance for him. A .240 career hitter at the University of the Pacific. Hasn't been the case in the CCBL. Hitting about .315, he ropes it to deep center field. It is caught on the slide. Luke Keeschel comes out of nowhere from left field and makes a great play to retire the side. 2 strikeouts and a screeching diving play by Keeschel to retire the side. It's now stretch time from Eldridge Park, and we're tied up at 3 apiece right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein from Eldridge Park, a tie ball game at 3 apiece, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that Orleans and Yarmouth are very close. In fact, they've played each other 3 times. The last meeting was decided by 4 runs, a 6-2 pretty comfortable win for YD. The other 2, a combined 1-run differential, scoreless tie at Eldridge Park. And then a walk-off infield single by Nate Baez gave YD the edge in the first meeting, an 8-7 dub, and a first pitch fastball delivered by Jared Godman to the righty Julio Marcano from NJIT, and he lines the second pitch breaking ball back to the screen for strike 2. Julio Marcano 1 for 2 on the day, doubled and scored a run in the 5th. Thunder buddies with his twin brother David spent time in the middle infield together at NJIT, both mechanical engineering majors in the Garden State, and pops it foul down the first base line, out of play. Freshman All-American, was the first NJIT player to earn that honor. And the 0-2, he lays off the breaking ball by the righty Godman from Oklahoma. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up until the last inning, the 6th inning, Jared Godman was pretty much spotless against Orleans in 2 appearances. Came into this game with 6 scoreless innings. High and tight fastball avoided by the jaw of Marcano. He just bailed out of the right-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes with no one on and no one out in the bottom of the 7th. But Godman gave up a home run to Keishel in the last frame and gets a strikeout on the foul tip that goes right into the mid of Cody Huff. And Jared Godman once again racks up a K. That's now his 5th in an inning and 2/3, make that 2 innings for the righty from Oklahoma. So 1 away in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3 apiece for Garrett Guillemette, the catcher, who notched an RBI in his last time up in the 5th. Big swing and a miss at the slider for strike 1. Came on a sac fly to Chase Luttrell out and right. No balls and a strike to Guillemette. And the righty from USC waves again at the slider. Identical pitch, he couldn't resist. No balls, 2 strikes. Jared Godman came in relief of Adam Meyer. And the slider misses outside, so 3 straight sliders. And Jared Godman has him in a 2-strike hole already with 5 strikeouts on the day. And the 1-2 nubbed foul again. Guillemette, a rising sophomore at USC, and the righty pops it foul over the screen. He's a big believer in manifesting and thinking good thoughts, visualizing success. Says that Coach Gill at USC says to go to bed with good thoughts and importance and finding happiness. That's really his mantra, the psyche of baseball. And he grounds it foul towards third. So a stalemate at 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the final 10 games of the season for USC, he hit .451, really settled in and was able to thrive and ended up earning all Pac-12 honors. And Guillemette cracks it to shallow left field by the line, and coming on is Robinson to play it on a hop. A 1-out single for Garrett Guillemette, and Orleans has a base runner in the bottom of the 7th, a tie ball game at 3 apiece. 1 away for David Marcano, the shortstop, who got the scoring going for Orleans in the 3rd inning. Notched the first hit for the Firebirds. It was a solo home run off of Adam Meyer, and that means that Meyer is now tied with Zach Jacobs for the team lead with 3 home runs allowed. Garrett Guillemette on first base. Not much speed there. Infield at double play depth. And a first pitch slider popped foul over the screen. David Marcano, a rising senior at NJIT. This is just his 4th game in a Firebirds uniform. He had a fantastic COVID-shortened season. Led NJIT in average on-base percentage and hits, doubles, stolen bases, you name it. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Runner on first base, tied at 3 apiece, bottom of the 7th. Jared Godman from the stretch was a very long hold for him, and the home plate umpire, Rich Guy Tony, had enough. He called time. Godman takes a deep breath. Slide step delivery, ground ball over to third, could be 2. Lou on to second. Relay from Hoffman, not nearly in time. And YD gets the force at second base. David Marcano turns on the Jets to avoid the double play. Two away, flip the lineup card up to Peyton Chatagnier, the second baseman, who's 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Chatagnier, the second baseman from Ole Miss, really emerged as one of the best young players in the SEC, a rising sophomore right now. Was 2 for 4 against YD on July 11th. That was just the lone game that he had played against YD, with the exception of today, and the righty from Ole Miss watches the fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. But in his freshman season, earned freshman All-American honors by hitting .311 with a .449 on-base percentage and a .574 slugging percentage. As Godman checks back the runner at first, Guillemette dives back safely. Still 1 out, rather 2 outs, and an 0-1 count to Peyton Chatagnier. But Chatagnier, with that stat line, have forced his assistants to say that he just belonged in the college level. And nubs it down the right field line, foul, off the handle. No balls and 2 strikes. The other thing about Chatagnier is he knows how to brand himself. Gave himself the nickname P Money, and it's not what you're thinking. It's not like he just decided, all right, well, I want a cool nickname. He had the best reason to give himself a nickname. He just wanted to ride some rides. Went to Disneyland during a travel ball trip with his friends, and his friends gave him a sticker. He wrote P Money on it. They would cut in front of the line. And then when people gave him a hard time, the friends just said, hey, that's P Money. You don't know who P Money is? And he acted like it was a big deal. And P Money checked his swing. Did he go? He did not on the slider that misses in the dirt. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And some people might say, well, come on, you're waiting 3 hours for a roller coaster at Disneyland. You don't want anyone, including P Money, cutting you in line. But you got to credit the creativity. Godman dives, or rather Godman checks back at first, and Guillemette dives back safely. So even though Guillemette doesn't have that much speed, Godman doesn't trust him. Still a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs, tied at 3 apiece, bottom of the 7th. And the Oklahoma Sooner righty checks back at first once again. Guillemette doesn't have a single stolen base. Doesn't have an attempt this year either. Peyton Chatagnier, on the other hand, is hitting over 300. That might be the bigger concern for Godman. And the 1-2. Slider off the plate. Count even at 2-2. Godman already with 5 strikeouts, the Las Vegas, Nevada native. A .488 career ERA at the NCAA level. A .649 mark in 2021. And the pitch. Fastball fouled off the hamstring off of Chatagnier. He is hobbling and now seems to be okay, taking his time. Guillemette was running on the pitch and now has to saunter back to first base, so Jared Godman's concerns are verified. Still a 2-ball, 2-strike count and a tie score. Jared Godman with 5 strikeouts, already a career high at the NCAA level. He had 4 strikeouts against Auburn and notches his 6th right now. A slider that Chatagnier just can't resist. 6 strikeouts for Jared Godman in relief. It just evaporates his career high at the NCAA level. And Orleans comes up empty-handed at the end of 7. 1 hit, 1 base runner left on, tied at 3 apiece, heading to the top of the 8th right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. A tie score between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. 3 apiece. Tanner Smith, the lefty, leading off the frame for YD in a high leverage position. And it seems like every position, every spot, every at-bat in the Eastern Division is high leverage right now because the East could not be any closer. Going into tonight, the first place team Brewster was separated by just 5 points to the last place team Chatham. And a first pitch curveball misses low to Tanner Smith from Zach Morris for ball 1. And tonight, the East doing pretty well. Brewster and Harwich and Chatham all beat West opponents tonight. And Brewster now winning 2 straight. Fastball nicks the outer half. Count even at 1-1. They've now won 2 in a row and they have 26 points. They are in commanding hold of first place now. And Tanner Smith is 3/4 of the way through a golden sombrero here. The 1-1, he cracks it up the middle. Ground ball ranging to his right. Chatagnier, the second baseman, makes the throw over to first. Peyton Chatagnier had to scurry a country mile just to stop the baseball and throws it over to first for a shining first out in the top of the 8th. One away for Peyton Graham, no one on. He's reached base twice today. A 4-pitch walk in the 4th and an infield single in the 5th. Zach Morris, the lefty from Arkansas, deals a first pitch fastball for strike 1. Morris working from the stretch with no one on. And Peyton Graham chases the changeup that lifts the dust. Could have been ball 1. Instead, it's strike 2. Zach Morris from Arkansas always dreamed of being a Razorback and putting on the uniforms for Arkansas. He was offered, and 5 days later, he committed to those Cardinal Reds. He always dreamed of putting on, and Morris, a rising junior now. As Graham fouls it back, still no balls and 2 strikes. With no one on and 1 out in the top of the 8th inning, Graham watches the changeup low. In his true freshman year, Zach Morris, he really turned a lot of heads. 94 to 96 miles an hour on his fastball and had that really, really sharp curveball. So no surprise he's dealing in the CCBL as Graham pops it foul and out of play. And then Zach Morris's true freshman season in 2020 didn't allow a single extra base hit as Graham goes down swinging on the elevated fastball for out number 2, and YD has really struggled tonight. They average over 10 strikeouts per game. And today they have 12. Peyton Graham responsible for 2 of those. Cody Huff, none of those. 1 for 3 with a single and a line out and a fly out. 2 outs, no one on for the Stanford righty. He drives it to deep center field, and under it, Chase DeLauder doesn't have to move an inch, playing perfectly on Cody Huff to make the catch. Side retired. YD goes down 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th inning. To the bottom of the 8th we go, knotted up at 3 apiece right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, tied at 3 apiece. The YD Red Sox, the Orleans Firebirds, trading blows in the Eastern Division. No matter what happens tonight, YD is in 3rd place in the East, but still a pretty big game for the Red Sox with 22 points on the year. Harwich in 2nd with 25. So if you want to stick around the attic rather than the basement, it's a big game against Orleans, who is now in last place in the Eastern Division with 19 points to Chatham's 21. Reed McLaughlin is pitching now in relief of Jared Godman for the Red Sox. Corey Acton, the lefty DH, is his first opponent in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike, and McLaughlin zips in a fastball, which is chopped to the left side and foul. Now, Reed McLaughlin has been absolutely elite. 10 2/3 of scoreless baseball. Only 5 CCBL pitchers have 0 earned and 10+ innings pitched, and McLaughlin is one of them. He has been untouchable. And the 1-2 popped foul out of play. Now, Reed McLaughlin from BYU, a senior, his home away from home, Eldridge Park. And when I say home away from home, I mean his former home. In 2019, he was a Firebird. It's a different version of Reed McLaughlin, though, an 8.1 ERA, just 2 appearances. And a breaking ball gets Acton to chase for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts dating back to the 7th inning, and Reed McLaughlin just zips right by Corey Acton, one away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Luke Keischel, the left fielder, at the plate. McLaughlin with 96 1/3 innings pitched in the collegiate level, 2.62 ERA career, 57 appearances. For YD, this is his 6th, and he notched his 10th strikeout a minute ago. 2 pitches, 2 fastballs, both on the outside corner to Luke Keischel, the righty who hit a solo home run in the 6th inning. That was his last time up, 1 for 3. With 3 RBIs in his young Orleans career. In his last game, just yesterday, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. He slices it down the right field line and fell. Oh, Drew Bowser nearly made a fantastic play to try to channel his inner outfielder and turn over his left shoulder and beat the ball to the spot, but Bowser was just a little tardy. At 6'4", he's probably one of the only players on the roster that really had a shot. Now with the home run given up tonight, as a foul ball off the bat of Keischel keeps it at 0-2. With the home run given up tonight, YD now leads the league with 26 home runs allowed. They've now allowed 7 over the last 3 games. Now Luke Keischel reaping the benefits. 1 out, no one on, tied at 3 apiece. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Reed McLaughlin's 11th strikeout of the season, 2nd of the day, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. No one on base for Chase DeLauder. 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a ground out, and a walk in the 4th. DeLauder from James Madison has emerged as one of the elite CCBL hitters. Hits in a mile-high, shallow right field. Wyatt Huffman saunters under it, and the second baseman makes the grab with 2 hands, signed retired. So Reed McLaughlin comes in relief of Jared Godman, gets 2 strikeouts and some weak contact off of Chase DeLauder, who leads the league with 6 home runs, and it only took McLaughlin 10 pitches to get Orleans down in order. To the top of the 9th we go, tied at 3 apiece, right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Top of the 9th inning, it's now or never for YD, tied at 3 apiece against Orleans. From Eldridge Park, I'm Brad Klein. Happy to be with you on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. As a reminder, no extra innings in the CCBL in 2021, and the Red Sox know that very well. Crew Robinson, the lefty, swings and fouls it on the first pitch fastball. A YD this season with 4 ties. And is tied for most in the CCBL with Wareham in the West. Believe it or not, the ties, though, have been pretty kind to YD. With just 9 wins, that's really kept them in contention in the East. No balls and 1 strike. Zach Morris, the lefty from Arkansas, he's been dealing 4 2/3 already. Foul ball back to the screen off the bat of the lefty, Crew Robinson. But Morris came in 4 2/3, 2 hits, only 1 run allowed. 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Robinson, the JUCO transfer, launches the changeup just off the plate for ball 1. 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. And Zach Morris brandishing his stamina tonight. This is his longest outing as a Firebird. Robinson chops it foul to the right side on the fastball. So it stays at 1-2, but Zach Morris hadn't gone more than an inning and a third before tonight. There have been times where he didn't even get 3 outs, but 4 outs was the watermark, and he has evaporated that tonight. Lefty-lefty matchup, Crew Robinson, the UC San Diego transfer, watches the breaking ball outside and low, and the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You have to wonder how much of Zach Morris's 4 2/3, potentially even more later on, is an omen for what's to come. Curveball misses just high, count now full. And it's not like he even went long in Arkansas. Only had 2 innings pitched as his longest outing for the Razorbacks. But a long at bat against Crew Robinson. Full count, no one on, no one out. Top of the 9th inning, tied at 3 apiece. Payoff pitch, fastball misses low, ball 4. A leadoff base runner for a YD comes in the form of a Crew Robinson walk. That brings up Chase Luttrell. That's YD's first leadoff base runner since Peyton Graham walked on 4 pitches. But that was against the starter Max Rajic. Came in the 4th inning. Chase Luttrell tripled in the 4th inning, but that was also off of Zach Morris. First pitch breaking ball off the plate, got away from Morris. The slider didn't slide. 1 ball, no strikes. And Luttrell's triple was just the 2nd hit that the lefty Morris allowed against lefties this season. The first one came from another YD slugger. It was Tanner Smith, and it was a home run. And now Garrett Guillemette out to have a word with his battery mate. Zach Morris in a bit of trouble for the first time today. With runners on base, Chase Luttrell is hitting just a .179, but that counteracts against his fantastic, triumphant, more than .300 batting average on the road. But Luttrell has really come on recently. Had the could have been, should have been double on the road against Brewster in the 9th inning, had that game not been reverted back to the 8th with the rain coming in and canceling out the 9th inning. Midway through the top of that 9th inning, so Chase Luttrell's 2-run RBI double just never happened. He told me it was just nice to catch a barrel, though, and since then, Luttrell has been a different version of himself. The Long Beach State lefty could not hold up his swing on the elevated fastball that nearly decapitated him, so now the count even at 1-1 to Chase Luttrell. Luttrell has hits in 2 straight, make that 3 straight games now. With a runner on first, the lefty again waves at the elevated fastball. A ball and 2 strikes with no outs and a runner on first base. That's Crew Robinson after the leadoff walk. So Zach Morris goes to 2 elevated fastballs after the mound visit with his catcher Garrett Guillemette. Chase Luttrell will have to wait his turn as Zach Morris checks back the runner at first. Crew Robinson back safely without a dive. YD has 4 ties on the year like I mentioned. It's most in the CCBL, tied with Wareham, but they haven't tied in their last 11 games played despite, again, leading with Wareham. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Chase Luttrell goes down swinging ahead of the changeup. for the first out in the top of the ninth inning. Brings up Drew Bowser with one out and a runner on first base. Bowser hit a home run yesterday, part of his two-hit performance, potentially a breakout performance. And the righty from Stanford came in as a highly coveted player, an addition for the Red Sox. From Harvard Westlake High School, in his true freshman year, hit .302 for Stanford. It started 0 for 16, and Cody Huff, his teammate at Stanford and at YD, said he was just due. But it was bound to happen. Fastball way outside and high. 2 balls and no strikes to Drew Bowser, facing the lefty Zach Morris, who has now recorded 15 outs against YD batters. A guy who had only recorded 4 as a watermark going into this game. And the Arkansas Razorback, Hickson deals from the stretch. Fastball on the outside corner. Drew Bowser nods his head in agreement. He just wanted to see a strike before taking the bat off his shoulder. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the ninth inning, tied at 3 apiece. With a runner on first, Crew Robinson. And Bowser watches the fastball down the middle. Strikeouts had been a problem for Bowser, especially to start when he began the season in that what seemed like eternity-long rut, that 0 for 16 start. YD has struck out 13 times as a team, and Bowser makes it 14, waving at the slider. The throw down from a cunning Robinson, and he slides in safely. Garrett Guillemette throwing from his knees, and Robinson running on the pitch. He's into second, but no thanks to Drew Bowser, who again strikes out. That's the 12th time that Bowser has struck out this year. And the second time that YD has gone down on strikes in the ninth inning. Now there are 2 outs and a runner on second base for Briley Knight. 8 strikeouts for Zach Morris in 5 1/3. Unbelievable performance out of the pen. And the lefty Knight watches the curveball for strike 1. He's 1 for 3 on the day, single to center in the third, and since then, 2 strikeouts, 2 of the 14. Crew Robinson notched his first stolen base as a Red Sox a minute ago. That advanced him to second base, despite the swinging strikeout by Bowser. Tied at 3 apiece, and Knight pops it foul over the screen. And YD's down to their final strike before they go out to the bottom of the ninth and try to, at the very least, salvage a tie. Crowd at Eldridge Park getting behind Zach Morris. This will be his 75th pitch of the night. And the lefty deals. Breaking ball, lower portion of the zone. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. Briley Knight lives to see another pitch, according to the field umpire, Brandon Johnson. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs. Briley Knight hitting a .167 on the year. He's come up in big spots, though. Had a 3-run double as his first extra base hit earlier this year. And the 1-2. Chop slowly over to second. Should be an easy play for Chatinier. It is. He fires it over to first in time. Sign retired. YD gets a leadoff base runner and strands him on second base. We go to the bottom of the ninth, with Orleans having a chance to win the ballgame, tied at 3 apiece. Last licks for Orleans in the bottom of the ninth inning, tied at 3 apiece, and Orleans starts with Trey Herman, the power-hitting righty, transferring to Stetson, a rising junior. Reed McLaughlin still on the mound for YD, just trying to salvage the tie and get a point out of this game. A first pitch breaking ball misses low and away for ball one. Trey Herman has 6 home runs in 48 games played at the collegiate level, coming from the SEC. In 2021, a .294 hitter, and he fouls it back to the screen on a slider that has him just bending Adrian Beltre style. Lost his balance, and the count even at 1-1 now. YD is at risk of tying again for the 5th time this season. They tied 4 times in their first 11 games, but they haven't in their last 11. Fastball on the lower portion of the strike zone. Looked like it might have been below the knees, and Herman just shaking his head away from the home plate umpire, Rich Gaetoni, in frustration. A ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Trey Herman. Slider off the plate. Herman thought better of it. He's 1 for 3 on the day, and 4 for 11 in now 4 games played as a Firebird. McLaughlin deals, and the slider grounded sharply over to Lou. He dives, he rifles, in time, got him. Oh, the third baseman, Zach Lou, salvages a 1-out ground out, and Reed McLaughlin meets him in the middle of the infield for a thank you. Tyler Locklear, the third baseman, at the dish with 1 out, no one on. Now, Reed McLaughlin is unequivocally one of the best that the CCBL has to offer. Is yet to allow a single run this year, and misses on the first pitch to Locklear, ball 1. 12 innings pitched for McLaughlin, no runs. This is his 3rd appearance against the Firebirds. Locklear thought about trying to swing on the slider. Instead, he held up, and the home plate umpire, Gaetoni, says he probably should have swung on the outside corner for strike 1. Fastball, letter high strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Reed McLaughlin. Talking to Eric Yost about McLaughlin, and he said that, believe it or not, I have bigger hands than Reed McLaughlin, and at 5'7", I didn't believe him, but he insists that it's true, as a sharply hit line drive down the right field line gives YD fans a scare, but it is foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But typically, it's the pitchers who have the bear claws and the catcher's mitts, 4 hands to get around the baseball and get a good grip on it. We'll have to measure after the game, but McLaughlin hasn't been phased, as that one driven to deep right field. Luttrell chasing back on the track. He makes the catch for a screeching 2nd out. Reed McLaughlin was inches away from allowing his first run of the season. Tyler Locklear gives him a ride. So now Orleans is down to their final out. It's up to Julio Marcano, who doubled and scored a run in the 5th inning, 1 for 3 on the day. Marcano swings at the first pitch breaking ball. Back to the screen it goes, a foul ball. Julio Marcano, a rising senior at NJIT. Hitting 182 in the month of July. Fastball on the outside corner, and Orleans is down to their final strike. The Firebirds have tied 3 times this season. And the 0-2 from McLaughlin, swung on and missed. Strike 3, got him on the slider, and that'll do it. A 3-3 tie, your final from Eldridge Park. YD ties for the 5th time this year, and Reed McLaughlin polishes off another stellar performance. McLaughlin comes in and doesn't give up a single run over 2 innings pitched. It's the second time this year that he went exactly 2 innings. Well, actually, McLaughlin had gone at least 2 innings in every outing this year. This is his 6th outing, and he gets the final out. McLaughlin gets the hold and holds the tie. YD in 3rd place. Orleans in the basement in the East. Remember, the top 2 teams from the CCBL will go to the playoffs. And 3-3 tie in the books. It's the second time that these 2 teams have tied. And YD is back at it again tomorrow. But that time it's actually going to be home. Pat Gallagher will start for the Red Sox. A chance to get some redemption on the Firebirds and get back in the win column. Orion Kirkering starting for Orion Kirkering starting for Orleans. We'll have first pitch at 5 o'clock and a pregame show for you a few minutes prior, around 4:55 figure, right here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein, signing off from Eldridge Park. A 3-3 tie is your final.